Welcome to Shom Machshava on the Daf. Shir sponsor Nishmas. I'm Yaakov Shalom Le'Abbas Yitzchok. We're holding in Sanhedrin Daf Nun Hey. The Gemara in Amud Beis, when it discusses the Sugiyah of takala in kolon, and wants to know, do you kill an animal when there's only kolon, only a disgrace, but no takala? No takala. The Gemara understands takala means that there's no reason to punish the person. So the Gemara says, when you have a child, you have an underage child. The Gemara starts with a girl and then moves to a boy. You don't kill the child. So in that case, you have a kolon, you have embarrassment, disgrace, but not a takala. So the Gemara, no, there is a takala by a child as well. Kivain de mezidi takoli nameiko. She does a aveira on purpose. A child does an aveira on purpose is a takala. Hi, so why don't you kill the child? For a chmono udechasala. Rachmanos on the child not to kill the child. But there is a takala, he did something wrong. This Gemara is a source that you see from here that a child who does an aveira, it is an aveira. The Torah doesn't punish him, but it is an aveira, it is a takala. And this is what the Rashash points out over here. Nafkamina is, does a child who became an adult, does he have to do tshuva for wrong things that he did as a child? Says the Rashash, as a raya from our Gemara, that you need to do tshuva. You have to do, let's say, the Shema in tshuva, because there is an aveira, just the Torah did not punish the child. And the Rashash sends us to Shulchan Aruch, Mishpat Siman Tav Chof Daled, where there the Shulchan Aruch says that if a cheresh shoite in Katan, if they were chayvel somebody, so even though the Katan became a gadol, he doesn't have to pay. Shebasha shechavlu lo yubrei das. When they did the Kabbalah, they were children. But the Ramah and the Rechaim, in the end of Siman Shin Mem Gimel, he says, right? Even though a child doesn't have to do tshuva, he should do something, says the Ramah. Doesn't need tshuva, but it's better to do it. The Mogen Avraham on the spot says, the raya is from our Gemara, that you see there is a takala. And this is really with the Trumas Adeshin in the Psakim Siman Samech Beis says. He starts by saying that mitzad echad, when a kata did something, he is not responsible for it, because we know that Beis Din we're not mitzuvet to be mafresh a katan from eating the veils. But then he says that maybe it's a siman ra, it's a bad siman for a katan who something bad came out of him. And he says meduyuk in a few places in Shas. Doesn't say where, probably referring to our Gemara. So that's what he says. It's good to have a kapara. And so brings the Sefer Chasidim in Siman Tafrich Tzadik Beis, says a person who's an adult and he remembers what he did as a child, so then it's better that he should pay. And he brings a ride from Yoshiyahu that paid everything when he became an adult. So what the Achronim are bothered by is that we know the klal is bitui ktano oinasu. If someone seduces a child, a girl, it's considered to be an oinus. Why is it an oinus? Even though she agreed to it? Because she doesn't know what she's doing. It's considered to be as if someone is forcing her to do it. According to our Gemara, Mashra, that a Ktano does amazing. It's actually an Aveira, just the Torah is not punishing her. So how do you reconcile these two Gemaras? And the Emes says it's a Rambam, because the Rambam paskins that a Ktano shezinso asura al baila. Ktano does nus, she becomes also on her husband. So ask the Ravid, what do you mean? We know that Pitu Ktano inasu. So the Achronim answer this in different ways. I'm going to try to summarize many of the Achronim to speak about it in a few short lines. The Chassid Sofer brought down here in the Sugiyah, he says that yes, when a Ktana does something, the Mezid of the Ktana is really considered to be, she did a Maisa, as our Gemara says. But the Maisa, the Torah Chasala, the Torah was Merachim on her. So the Torah did not consider this to be a Maisa. So the Torah considered this to be Pitu Ktana Oinasu. Although she knows what she's doing based on our Gemara, but the Torah did not consider it to be a real Maisa. And similarly brings her Kivi Eker in his Chuvas Madura Tanina Simon Kufla Medalit, that because the Torah is Rachmana Chasala, so there's no mitzvahs v'chiyuvim on a katan. You don't have to stop him from doing anything, because that's part of Torah Chasala. He knows what he's doing, but still the Torah took away from him any obligation of mitzvahs. Reb Chaim Kanievsky in the Sefer Siyach Hasod, he brings the name of the Chazon Ish and the name of the Stipler. That what it says in our Gemara Takala, it means that Lamaisa, that the Aveiro causes something to a person. Metantemes alev. It makes a person bad. It influences the person. There's no punishment, there's no yisurim in Torah, but there's still some influence on the person who did the Aveira. And that is the idea of the Takala. The Mishkeres Yaakov, in Even Ezra Siman Mem Zayin, he understands it's a machlokes sugis. It's really a steer between the sugis. Our Sugiyah holds that there is some isurim that a katan doesn't get punished for it, but still a isur, and that's why a woman will be asur on her husband. But the Gemara that says the Pituk Tana Inasu argues in our Gemara, and the Rambam paskas like our Gemara, that's what he explains. Rabbi Yitzchak Elchanan Spector in his Sefer Nachli Yitzchok, and also the Sameach and Perek Gimel in Miyuchot Yisrael Rabiyah, they have a different mahalach, and they say like this: by Yisrael, mitzvahs are given to Yisrael, so there's no obligation to a katan to do anything. But by a goy, we don't have a difference between a child and an adult. A child is chayav the same way the adult is chayav. So if so, any mitzvah that a goy has, that also applies to a Yisrael al goy. He's not less than a benoach. So a rayas is also in a goy as well, as we'll see in the next daf. And we made the other Yisurim there are so benoach like avodah zarah as well. Things that a benoach has, a child Yisrael has as well, because at least he has the din of benoach for that level. But things that have to do with Yisrael only, the Torah did not give the chiyuvi Torah until you become an adult. And the Shud Beit Sha'arim wants to say that a katan who does a aveiro is considered to be misasik, meaning he doesn't have an intention. But we know when a person is misasik and he has enjoyment, misasik be'arayos or be'chalovim, it's chayav. Why? Because when you have a joy, if you're enjoying it, so then even a person who doesn't have any das is still considered to be that he knows what he's doing. So he says that's the pshat. A katan usually is misasik, that's why he's potter. But we talk about arayas, we talk about anything that he's enjoying, so then he is considered to be that he does know what he's doing. And it seems that the Vilna Goyen on the Pirusha Mishnayos on Nida Parakeh Mishtehei goes with a similar nekuda because he wants to say that there's a difference between a girl and a boy. Even though our Gemara compares them, it says maybe the girl is a dichui be'almo because by a boy we have a din en kishu ela ladas. So there's supposed to be some das over here in order to come and perform a veira of arayas. So al kolponim, all these cheetahs really come down to the nekuda. Is there a das by a katan at all or not? Does a katan have any idea of what he's doing, or is completely exempt for any aveira? He's not considered to be a maise. And our Gemara is mashra that he does know what he's doing, that there is a responsibility for him. And then if communal maise will be, does a child have to do tshuva after he became an adult to fix what he did before? And this is just a drop from this very big sugya. Anyone wants to join the Shomachshava email list or what's to go, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.